Today's video is for six-figure earners who want the best that life has to offer. If you're not a six-figure earner or you love complacency in life, this video is not for you. What's good, everybody? My name is Hafiz. I am one of the co-founders of The Standard. In The Standard, we optimize the lives of six-figure earners for holistic excellence, physically, emotionally, spiritually, socially, and financially. And today I have a topic that, man, I am so passionate about, and I really want to dive into it with you guys. And a lot of people are going to be upset. They're going to be triggered. They're going to be mad at me, but I'm being honest with you. You don't need to be mad at me. You need to be mad at yourself. And today we're going to be talking about what it means to be a leader as a man, especially as a man who's married or in a committed relationship. And I'll tell you guys the backdrop behind this conversation. One of the things that we're working on is we're currently bringing in more members in the Standard. So we're constantly interviewing guys to see whether or not they're a great fit for our organization and whether or not we can service their needs. Literally, during most of the interviews, the guys tell us, man, you guys are exactly what we need. They want to grow better as husbands, as fathers, as leaders, as entrepreneurs, as entrepreneurs. They know that they need community around them. So like, yo, this is perfect. We analyze their lives and we learn a little bit more about them, and it's a great fit and everything is amazing until we get to the end when it's time for us to go ahead and, make the purchase. So many guys then say, I can't make this purchase today. I have to ask my wife first. And guys, we are going to spend so much time on that sentence. But before we do so, a lot of you guys are probably going to be like, what's wrong with that? They're simply wanting to speak to their wives and get their opinions and just make sure everything's good on her end. What's so bad about that? First, 99% of people will tell us, even if we give them another date later, they never come back because there's something deeper going on than them just having to ask their wife for permission. What's really going on is that these men are not leaders in their homes or families. And let's go ahead and talk about that. So first and foremost, what does it mean to lead? And like Alex Ramosi says, you want to break down words to give the most simplest definition possible so even a fifth grader can understand it. So here is how I define leadership. To lead is, without needing to be told, help and protect others by taking them to the direction that's best in their lives, right? So what I've come to realize is that if you are a person who's a leader, you're doing these things without being told, meaning that you're taking initiative, helping and protecting others. What is leadership? Leadership is serving. He's serving the people and taking them to a direction that's best in their lives. A leader guides, he directs, he moves people from one destination to another. And what I've seen happen in today's world is so many men are not leaders. They tell you that they're leaders. They kind of cosplay as leaders, but they're not truly leaders. And let me explain. Before I jump into that, guys, here in The Standard, we love marriage. We celebrate it. We champion. We believe that more married couples, more families, more fathers, that's what's going to change the world, not more government. So there's no other organization in the world, in my opinion, who's more pro-marriage than we are. But if I'm being 100% honest, we're pro-healthy marriage. And we do not believe in unhealthy marriages. So currently, there are 3 different leadership styles that I've seen in marriages today. The first is he leads, meaning the husband leads. The second style is she leads, which is the wife leads. And the third style is we lead, which is basically an egalitarian approach, which means we both lead. So my question to you as a man is 2 things. One, which style is currently in your marriage? Are you leading the marriage? Is she leading the marriage? Or are you both leading the marriage? I'm not trying to pick on this guy, but I was talking to this guy. He told me he was a leader. And then he said, yo, me and my wife submit to one another. And I'm like, sorry, sir. If you both are submitting to one another, you're not leading. There's no such thing as we're leading. That never exists. There's never two kings in one castle. There's never two presidents in one country. Whenever a man tells me, oh, we're leading, it really means she's leading. And then the second question I'll ask you guys, and this is a very uncomfortable one, is to ask your wife, which structure is our family? Am I leading? Are you leading? Or are we both leading? And you guys are not gonna like this answer, because I guarantee you, for a lot of you guys who say that you're leading, in reality, she's gonna tell you we're leading, which basically means she's leading. And here is the reality. Do I want to go down a rabbit hole telling you why I believe that men should be the leader? No, we'll say that for another video. So if you choose to be led by a woman, or if you choose to have a co-leading relationship, the standard and what we stand for is not for you. Go ahead and turn off this video, go someplace else, because what we want to create is a place where masculine men can lead and feminine women can be happy and be full of joy as they're following and enjoying the husband's leadership. So if you're not a masculine man who wants to lead, I'm sorry, this is not for you. So here's reality. It's either you're a leader or you're a follower. And what I've seen so often is, if you tell me I have to ask my wife first, you're a follower. Let me explain. A lot of times when men are saying, I have to tell my wife, what they know is true is that they're asking their wives for permission to invest in themselves. They have to ask their wife for permission to be able to make certain purchases. So here's an example. If you were gonna buy a home, is there anything wrong with communicating that to your wife? Of course not. If you're gonna buy a brand new Rolls Royce, is there anything wrong with communicating that to your wife? Of course not. But here's the problem. If you are investing in a product or service that will help you become a better husband, father, or leader, in my opinion, should you be telling and asking your wife for permission? No. Here's an example I give. If you are a man and you're dealing with deep emotional trauma, and that emotional trauma is preventing you from showing up fully as a husband, as a father, and as a leader, should you ask your wife permission to go to counseling? In my opinion, no. You shouldn't ask her permission. You should tell her, say, hey, sweetheart, I want to be a better husband for you. I want to be a better father to our kids. And I realize there's some deep-seated stuff I haven't dealt with over the years. So what I want to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and invest in this counseling program to become a better man for you, our family, and our future generations. Guys, there is no healthy woman, going back to healthy marriages, there is no healthy woman on the planet who's going to disagree with that. They're going to be like, oh, wow, I love it, because guess what? You're leading. Leadership requires initiative. Initiative is proactively going out of your way to solve a problem. That's what initiative is. And so my big thing is that if you have to ask your wife first, it's showing me that you can't take initiatives for decisions that are going to make you a better man. Because here's the reality. Your wife doesn't know whether or not this is going to help you become a better man, because she doesn't know what a man needs. She's a woman. So why are you going to a woman for something that's going to help you as a man? And this is what a lot of guys will tell me. Well, I just respect my wife so much. And because I respect her so much, I want to include her in my decision making. First and foremost, I love that you respect your wife. We're team marriage. We love that. We celebrate that. But you're lying right now. You're using that as an excuse. And here's why. The problem is your wife doesn't trust you. Can we be honest with one another? Your wife doesn't trust your leadership skills. Your wife doesn't trust your decision making. And so because you've probably made a decision in the past, the decision didn't go well, you didn't get the result that you wanted, your wife lost some trust in you, and now she's made a rule by saying that all future decisions have to be run by me, which basically means I have to approve it. So my question to you is, if someone has to approve every decision that you make, is that person your leader, or is that person someone who's led by you? The reality of the matter is that person is your leader. Some of you guys are like, oh, that's not true. That's not how it works. Let me go ahead and push back on you. Let's say you have to ask your wife first. And you say, hey, sweetheart, I want to invest in something that makes you a better husband, a better father, a better leader, a better man. And she says no. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know what a lot of you guys are going to do? You're not going to do it. You're not going to invest. Which shows me you don't have the final say. You're not the leader here. And that to me is the problem, because my biggest thing is that the world needs better leaders. We need better husbands. We need better men in society. We don't need passive men. We don't need fearful men. We don't need insecure men. We don't need indecisive men. We need strong, proactive men who want to change the world. And so my fear is that you are a man who is not leading, and you know it. And even the hypothetical guy who's like, yeah, I am leading, but if my wife says no, I want to respect her wishes. Here's my question. So if God tells you X is best for your life, and then you ask your wife and she says, oh, I don't want X. Are you guys aligned? Does he trust you? Because to me, if you want something that's good for your family, why won't your wife want it as well? To me, there's bigger issues, and you guys definitely need to invest in some kind of program that provides relationship counseling and alignment counseling for couples, which obviously we do in the Standard with Mary Jo Rapini, one of the best women counselors in the world. We call her the male whisperer because she can speak the language of men in a way that women love to understand and listen. So to me, like I said, whether people invest in the Standard, I really don't care, because I actually only want a certain kind of guy here. But what I do care about is seeing a world where we have more leaders and more great men in society. You see, the reality of the matter is, gentlemen, your wife didn't sign up to be a mother to a mouse. She signed up to be the lover to a leader. She wants to be the lover, not the mother. And the more you have to go ask her for permission, the more you don't lead, the more you have to constantly check things with her before you do things that are best for you and your family, the more she becomes your mom. The more a woman becomes your mom, guess what? You depolarize the relationship. Now it's no longer a masculine man with a feminine woman. It's now a feminine woman with a feminine man. And that causes women to lose attraction. And I'm not trying to get all up in your business, but that's why some of you guys' sex life has been going down the drain. Because she is turned on by a powerful, strong, confident, masculine man who leads. And because you have not been walking in your God-given calling, you have been also destroying your relationship and ruining the attraction that she once had for you. I'll close with this. Is there anything wrong for a man who's a leader, who's intelligent, who is competent, to let his woman know about a big decision that he's going to make for his own development? I'm not against that, but here's the key. Let her know. Let me give you an example. This is what you do. You say, hey, sweetheart, I just want to let you know that I'm about to invest in this program. I'm about to invest in this coaching. I'm about to invest in this conference. That's going to help me be a better husband, father, leader to you and our family. I just wanted to give you the heads up. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I did it the other day. I was investing in a program. It was about $25,000. I'm always looking to grow myself as I continue to grow the Men in the Standard. And I just told my wife, I said, hey, sweetheart, let's let you know, I'm investing in this program. It's this much money. I think it's gonna be great for us. Just giving you the heads up. I'm not asking for permission. I'm not asking to negotiate. I'm telling her what I'm doing that's best for our family. And know what my wife said? I love it. Let's do it. You know why? Because she trusts me. And let me tell you a secret, guys. A woman trusting you has nothing to do with you making every decision and getting every decision right. A woman trusting you is based upon her ability to feel like you will always strive to do what's best for the family, whether or not you fail. Because here's what happens. If you make a mistake, guess what? You're not perfect. You're not human. You let her know, hey, dear, I made a wrong turn here, but you know what? Every day I'm going to get better. I'm going to become a better man, become a better leader. And what you will always know is that I will always do and make decisions every single day that I believe will be best for us. So always trust me in that. She has to trust your heart. And what I'm seeing is that a lot of you guys are not giving her a man that's strong enough, that's competent enough for her to trust his heart. So the way you do so is by freaking leading and making executive decisions. So I hope that helped. As I said, we love marriage here in the Standard. We want to see better families, but that starts with better men. And what every man needs to be, what every woman wants, what all children require is a man to be a leader. And a leader makes decisions and has authority to do what's best for him and his family. And he does so every single day. Hope that helped. Have a great day.